This guy's got a problem. In Polk County terminology, he's got a hitch in his giddy-up.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what I just said?
Just chill out. Drink a 7-Up. Eat a moon pie. Quit murdering people.
Well, his words definitely get a lot of attention. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd is perhaps one of the best-known sheriffs in the entire country. He's in memes. He's on coffee cups, T-shirts. You can see he's even got his own bobblehead. But we know, and we want to know, what makes the man. And John Brown is in studio this morning. And John, good morning. First of all, you spent the entire day with him for an exclusive interview.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Hey, good to see you guys. Wow, this is what 7 a.m. looks like now. I'm not used to this one.
And what it feels like.
Yeah, but this is actually about the time we got out with Grady Judd. We spent the entire day with him, and it's pretty cool to see actually not only, how people respond to him, but what made him, because the sheriff has spent his entire life in Polk County, and he told me he has no desire to go anywhere else. This, by the way, our third story from our day in the life of Grady Judd. And today, what made the sheriff the man he is today.
When I was a kid growing up, I was from a working class family, and I experienced people walking past me because they thought they were better than me, and I know how it made me feel. It hurt me, and I thought, well, I'm as good as they are.
If you're looking for the reason why Grady Judd has been elected so many times in Polk County, look no further than the Golden Rule.
But I thought to myself, one day I'm going to be the sheriff. And I'm going to be nice to everybody that lets me be nice to them.
The lessons that Judd learned early in life in Lakeland still impact him today. He took us to the neighborhood where he grew up, where everyone knew everyone.
The person who lived here was a peeping Tom, back in the day. The Evans lived right there, and this was my home from the time I was 5 years old.
The one right there, the gray house?
Right there.
His mother was a homemaker, his father in the military, and then a manager for the local Cadillac dealer. Both were people of deep faith.
You talked about the lessons your father taught you. What's the most important thing your father taught you in that house?
To behave, to be responsible, to say yes ma'am and no ma'am and do my homework, and he held me accountable. He was a hard-working man. He was a Christian man. He was a leader in the church. He was my superhero.
Grady Judd is all about consistency. He has 2 sons, 13 grandchildren, and the love of his life, Marissa, by his side.
My wife and I were engaged to be married when we were still in high school.
In high school?
In high school.
Wow.
And she's the light of my life.
He's also worked at the same department for 50 years. One thing is for sure, the man you see on TV and at press conferences is the same person you meet on the street.
People ask they ask my wife, they ask me, well, how are you really? And I go, what you see is what you get. I'm the same at work as I am at home, and I am what I am.
You're the boss. Who's your sounding board? Somebody can come up and say, I think you went over the edge that time.
Yeah, all of my executive staff and my wife, and I've got some close friends. We're all on this little mountaintop. Now, if I start to jump off of it and they try to stop me and I jump off anyway, that's on me. But if I tell them what I'm going to do and they say, wait, Sheriff, that's not good, then that's okay. But if they let me go off and don't stop me, if the fall doesn't kill me, when I get back on the top of the mountain, then I'm firing them for not protecting me from me.
He is truly on top right now. And if you're wondering if he's planning to stick around for more.
So you're going to run again?
Oh, absolutely. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah, it's all he's ever done. Now, people may be surprised to know the sheriff also is a photographer. He picked up the hobby after his doctor told him he needed a distraction because of all the years of stressful work. So his artwork now adorns the walls of the sheriff's office. And he said not only is it a cool outlet for him, but it helps build camaraderie among the department because people will bring their families in and say, look at the picture that they took of me and it's on the wall there. So it's not just about, the sound bites. He's about building this community, and that's why his people don't leave. They're very loyal to him, and he's very loyal to
In the
them
day you were there was a child predator bust.
Yeah.
Why would they do that in Polk County of all sheriffs?
That was the first thing I said. Why, knowing what they do here, why do they keep doing this? And he said something I thought was fascinating. He said, this is one of the only crimes where you can't tell anybody else. And so they do it sometimes to get caught, he thinks. Because if you drunk driving, right, you may tell your spouse, I drove home last night. If you rob somebody, you may say something to one of your friends. You can't tell anybody about this. So he says they have all that built up inside, and to get caught is their only chance to talk, because once they catch him, they spill everything.
Wow.
So I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah.
That's why they still do it, because I'm like, if you're driving to Polk County, you know what's going to happen here, yet they do it in dozens and dozens of people every time we do this.
You also talked to the sheriff about the inmates that are there in Polk County and how they feel about him and their interactions. What did he say about that?
Okay, so the one thing you find out about Grady Judd is he loves his community. And he even said, if you're out there breaking the law, that's your business. You know what you're doing, so don't be surprised if we bust you. And so he treats people with this level of respect. And when we were driving past the jail there, all the inmates were waving at us. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And so I started talking to some of the other people there. And they said after people are released from jail, he treats them just like anybody else. And so there's that level of respect that just don't mess up again, but I'm going to treat you with respect. And so we heard from other inmates who said, the sheriff gave me a ride home one night after I was released from jail. No one was there to pick me up.
Well, it all makes
and
sense
so,
when
yeah,
you see
so
the
that's why he
picture and
builds,
see his house and how he grew up, just to respect people.
Well, and the number of people we also met who have moved there because of him. I thought that was fascinating. A lot of people who've moved from different counties and other states have said, I moved here because of you, because I know if there's something going to happen, you're going to take care of it. And you don't think about that role in law enforcement, but he's also a chief recruiter for Polk County. Yeah. And he's not going anywhere. And other people would come up in that restaurant. That was the most bizarre thing. That 1 hour lunch took more than 2 hours because everybody took a picture.
Sure.
And everybody said, are you going to run for governor? And he said, why? I love it here. I'm never leaving Polk County. And he hasn't for more than 50 years in that one job.
Do you think you could talk him into growing that mustache back? Because I think, right? It was a good look.
I like the sideburns too.
Yeah.
But how about the story also, he met his wife in high school.
That's
so you talk
sweet.
about consistency. Yeah. Nothing has ever changed. And again, the guys who are around him are loyal. And so I think, that breeds that level of respect, and they want to be there with him because they know they know exactly what they're going to get.
Yeah.
And I think that's really refreshing for somebody like that.
It's a great piece.
Yeah.
Let's have it here. You want to stay? We still have 2 hours left.
Yeah, we'll go till 10.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of coffee shops open right now.
There
And
might
also
be.
my pillow's still there.
You can go get some coffee and bring it back to us. All right. Thanks,
Great.
John. Always nice to have you with us.